Welcome to the Lift Zone. It's your boy Nate, and today I'm not driving, or in this video I'm not driving, but I want to talk to y'all about people throwing up in your car. Okay, it's never happened to me, and I hope it never happens to me, but I want to be prepared, and I want y'all to be prepared too. So there's this bag, okay, I hope you guys can see it. Okay, it's by Medline. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a link in the description so you can go to Amazon and get it. Okay, you can get a pack of 12. They're real cheap, but man, this can save you from a lot of heartache. Okay, a lot of heartache. Now, how do you know that a person is going to throw up in your car? You don't. Okay, you can have a person that thinks that they're normal, okay, and they just throw up. And I think all of us have had experience, or most of us have had experiences where you've seen a person in a state where they can't stop themselves from throwing up. It's like as if a bodily reaction, and they're just throwing up. So it's not that the person means to throw up, but because of the libations that they took in or something that they ate, they can't help themselves. They're just throwing up. Okay, so what I like to do is be prepared. Okay, so what I do is I take these bags. This is how it looks when they're fully open, and they're right back here in my seats, but this is how they look when they're not open. Okay, so I have little compartments back here that I put. There's 3 on this side and 3 on that side as far as these bags, but this is how they look when they're open. So if somebody is thrown up, they just put their mouth in it, and then they throw up in here. And what I wanted to do is I have some water. I'm not going to throw up, okay? But if a person throws up, it goes in there and there's no leak, okay? And that's just kind of it. All right, so I guess I'll be holding this for the remainder of this video. So I want to talk about some of the techniques that I use as far as to try to gauge if a person is throwing up or not. I only had one incident where I asked, okay, are you about to throw up? And the person was like, I'm woozy. I'm like, okay, I can stop. Okay, now people aren't going to say, oh, well, I'm about to throw up. You got to kind of ask them questions. And I've heard from other drivers where they've stopped multiple times and a person still threw up in their car. Okay, so some of the things that I do is I'm looking at the person and I'm trying to gauge. Like, for example, I had a young lady yesterday that was in my car, and when she came out, she was kind of wobbly. And when she got in, I asked her, like, jokingly, hey, I seen you wobble coming outside the door. Are you okay? So I want to find out if they're okay or not. So then I can tell them, okay, there's throw-up bags right there. And a lot of times they're jokes. I remember one girl said, this looks like a big condom. So that was pretty funny. Okay, but you want to kind of gauge them and let them know. If somebody gets in my car and they're all drunk and sloppy, it's kind of like, okay, are you okay? Are you about to throw up? Do you think you're about? I ask these probing questions because I want to know, because if she says yes, my first reaction is to stop and pull over. Okay, if I can stop and pull over, have her get out or have him get out and throw up outside, that's the best. Okay, but if they're in the car, they're like, no, I gotta get home, I gotta get home. If I think they're gonna throw up, and whether they want to stop the car or not, I'm gonna stop the car and get them out. Okay, because I'm not trying to have anybody throw up in my car. But if they don't seem like they're going to throw up at that particular moment, and I feel like, okay, I might can get them home, I'll tell them, hey, there's throw up bags in there. So if you feel like you got to throw up, put your mouth in there, and I don't care, use them up. Okay, so again, I've never had it happen to it, but when you drive at night, it comes with the territory. People who drive in the day, they usually don't see this, but quick advice, most of the money is at night. Okay, if you drive in the day, that's fine, but most of the money is at night, and that's for everybody who's looking to drive also. So Medline, get your throw-up bags, okay, nice and neat. It's a conversational piece also, and people are wowed by it also, because they're like, oh man, this guy is really prepared. And it's a conversation piece, but also you want to be ready. Now, What happens if somebody does throw up in your car? If somebody throws up in your car, get as much documentation as possible, okay? What I would do is I would take a video of the mess, and I would take as many pictures of the mess also, and then you want to clean up as much of it as possible. So you should have paper towels, gloves, because you don't want to touch anybody's throw up. So you want to have rubber gloves and plenty of paper towels so you can wipe up the mess first, and then you're going to have to get it detailed. You're going to have to go somewhere and get it detailed. And again, it's never happened to me, but I've seen other people, and they say it's around $200 or $215. So it's kind of like, that's what you're going to have to do. It's a shame, but okay. So what you're going to have to do is, let me think. Okay, so somebody throws up in your car. Again, wash it, scrub it, but before you do that, take pictures of it, okay, and take a video of it. And then once you take a video of it, you're gonna have to send that to Uber or Lyft. It depends on who you have, okay? You send it to Uber and Lyft, and then what should happen is whatever you send them, just say it's $200. Whatever you send them should come back to you, like the way that they pay you through your checking account, okay? So that's what usually happens. But you look, y'all got to be vigilant about people not throwing up in your car. But driving at night is probably going to happen at some point in time, okay? So you just want to be prepared for it. So everybody should have some of these Medline bags, and again, they're in my description. It comes with the territory. I mean, your 9 to 5 or your last job that you had, there's pros and there's cons. This is one of the cons to being a driver of your own car, is people throwing up in your car, okay? So hey, if this is your first go around, if this is your first experience as far as driving for Lyft or Uber, look, it's a great side hustle. It's a great side hustle, okay? It's a great side job. You clock in when you want to, you clock out when you want to. You don't have any bars. You're talking to some really interesting people. Day in and day out, you're talking to interesting people, and I have fun with it, okay? So when a person comes in, I usually ask them as far as what they're, like where they're going, and if they're from Philly. If they're not from Philly, I'm well traveled. So any place that they talk about, I have some type of experience with that place, okay? So then I just talk about that, and it usually lightens people up. And guys, that's what it's about. It's not about your car, even though it has to be presentable. It's about the experience. What experience are you giving the passenger? And sometimes their experience is not going to be good because of them, and that kind of is what it is. But be prepared. All right, so look, man, again, it's your boy Nate. Medline. Look, get this Medline throw-up bags so you can put in your car and have them available. And they look a little bit better because you could get trash bags. I mean, really, you could get trash bags, but this looks a little bit more presentable. They're cheap, and when you get them, you throw away. All right, man, if you have any questions, holla at me.